Hi, I'm Katie Todd, and this episode is called Parenting Blind. I want to tell you a true story about a young man who's 17, in year 12, and he's called Sam. Sam has had a problem for the last 5 years and his parents have not got a clue. They are very successful professionals, high achievers, the sort of people who've done well in the world and have put him in one of the best schools that money can buy. They want him to work, and they want him to achieve, and they want him to follow in their footsteps. What they don't know about Sam is that his best friend is the bottle. This young man is 17. He says, doesn't everyone have the best friend as the bottle? I find that a really shocking and sad statement. Sam has been drinking since he was 12. Now, why does a kid go and do that? The rate of binge drinking is at disease epidemic proportion, as kids blot out the pain that they're in and feel unable to communicate to their parents about what's going on, feel like they are not okay as they are, and so they blot out the pain. What happens to these individuals are, not only do they do brain damage with this excessive drinking, and each weekend or date in between is about the next time I can get pissed. Their lives revolve around that. If I'm upset, I drink. If I'm happy, I drink. If I want to look forward to something, I drink. It becomes the meaning and the central focus of their life. What happens is they don't develop the resources to be able to problem solve. They can't manage conflict. They can't work out direction, focus, purpose. They have no capacity to direct their lives and get on track. The longer this goes on, the more chronic it becomes, until we have a real problem, which I think we can see in many, many young people today. They may need to move on to harder substances. It's such a sad thing. So I'm not going to answer all that this is about, but I just want to give you a glimpse of what part of it is about, and I'm certainly no expert. Sam is someone who, in my personality profiling books that I've written about, he has got the fairy archetype. That means he has a little bit ADD tendencies. In fact, he's been diagnosed as having ADD. Now, whether you believe in that or believe in medication or not is another debate. Sometimes in extreme cases, some intervention on some level is definitely necessary. These kids are jumping about all over the place. They've got no idea of time. They find concentration extremely difficult. They lose things all the time. However, they are magical. They have great imaginations. They're very, very creative. And they can light up the world. But they're very young, they're very immature. These kids, all kids, find the transition from leaving school to go into the world extremely challenging. They need to be success, they need to achieve. I mean, don't we feel that at our age? Can you imagine how they feel back at square one? His parents, Sam's parents, have been getting more and more frustrated with his lack of discipline, his lack of ability to take responsibility, his need to always skirt off. They don't realise that he's outside, he runs out his back window and goes down the park and drinks with his mates most nights. They have no idea. But when they are home, they're yelling at him and telling him he's a waste of space, he's useless, and will he please get on and do some work, he needs to study harder. Now, he actually is putting in quite a lot of hours study, and in my family I go, wow, that's pretty impressive, but it's not enough for them. There is one path that they see for their son, and that is it. Having said they don't believe in ADD, they have denied that he has any issues here that may need some sort of support on whatever level there is. This child has then interpreted that as, I'm not okay as I am, I'm not right, and he believes he's going to fail. If he's going to fail and disappoint them, which he fears he's going to, and it looks like he's going to, he's already numbing the pain with the alcohol. This is all going to come to a head eventually. We're going to have TEE, we're going to have results. It's going to blow up. A lot of these kids get kicked out of home. I don't know what's going to happen to Sam, but I can tell you I've spent a lot of hours, a lot of days worrying about him. I worry about a lot of these kids. The art of good parenting, this is why I call it parenting blind. We often can only see and want for our kids for them to be replicas of ourselves, to go the path that we went, because we were good at it and we know how to guide them on that. We have no ability to see that there are multiple paths and choices. The most important quality for all of us as parents, and I'm a mother of 3 kids, is that we like ourselves. We accept ourselves. We know our strengths, we know our limitations, or our light and shadows in our personality profiling, as I've talked about in my books. We need to be comfortable with that, and then we need to go out with what we've got and give it all we've got and just let it be. If you can't see what your kids have got, how can you encourage them? How can you tell them that they're great at that and help them to go along to an art course rather than say you've got to do engineering? How can you guide them to where they need to be? Using my books can be a wonderful source to find out exactly who your kids are if you feel like this information will be helpful. I just hope that Sam's parents will wake up and realise that they have been blind and that this kid actually is a treasure.